Welcome to Hannity. All right, tonight we are tracking multiple breaking stories, including shocking, horrific details from that sixth woman now accusing Andrew Cuomo of sexual misconduct. Now, a report from the Albany Times-Union out tonight. This Cuomo staffer, who has not been named as of yet, was allegedly assaulted inside the governor's private residence while she was on location to supposedly fix an issue with his mobile phone. He claims the governor shut the door, isolated the pair in a room, and then proceeded to fondle her body under her blouse. Governor Cuomo is denying the allegation, but if true, this alleged sexual assault could spell the end for Governor Andrew Cuomo. Much more on this coming up tonight. Plus, straight ahead, we'll have the very latest from our crisis at the wide-open southern border. Our investigative team is back on the ground at the border tonight in the great state of Arizona. By the way, Senator Mark Kelly, where are you on this crisis that is emerging? Are you denying it's a crisis also? The people of Arizona deserve to know. And later we'll have a full report on the Democrats' latest efforts to destroy your Second Amendment. And this is not a test. This is indeed a clear and present danger to your Second Amendment rights. But first, just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, that means it's approximately 2 hours or so after Joe Biden's bedtime. Now, it's likely he's likely fast asleep after what has been a very long and exhausting week for the president. Yesterday, he managed to have one agenda item and hold one public event. Again today, just one very short, scripted speech where he was struggling to keep his focus on the tiny little letters and words in the teleprompter. Just look specifically, look at his eyes here. He's digging in deep, locking in, not locking out, just to get through those prepared remarks. Joe does one event a day, kind of looks like he needs a nap, desperately. Now, of course, still no press conference, still no joint address to Congress. That would be called the State of the Union. Still, his vice president, Kamala Harris, is taking solo calls with world leaders. That would be the commander-in-chief's job. But hold on to your socks, because according to a very generous fluff piece in Politico, the Biden blitz is coming. It's now coming. This article claiming Biden has been hunkered down for weeks, not because he's struggling cognitively or weak or frail or incapable of speaking, well, completely coherently, but because he's had to organize the vaccination distribution plan, you know, the one that Donald Trump had already organized and handed over to him, along with 3 different vaccines. Trump gave him those too. And Joe, truth be told, had absolutely nothing to do with the $1.9 trillion Schumer-Pelosi payoff bill. Joe didn't write it, nor did he negotiate it. But now get ready, America, because Politico claims that Biden will probably hold more public events in coming weeks, including tomorrow's primetime speech about COVID-19 and, of course, the upcoming State of the Union address. Now, let me make a prediction. Joe's been practicing probably all week for the speech tomorrow night. He'll do fine. It'll be a short 15-minute rah-rah. We're doing great speech. Things are turning the corner, and it'll be over. He'll have practiced all day today, all day tomorrow. We've practiced all day today. It will be a short scripted speech. They'll make the font really, really big so he doesn't really have to squint and dial in the way we saw it today as much as usual. And Joe will probably also, he can survive the State of the Union address. If we're going to be honest, completely truthful, it's probably the easiest speech anybody's ever giving, because you read 2 lines, then you pause for all the applause. You read 3 more lines, then you pause for all the applause. It's actually perfectly suited for Joe. Slow, comfortable pace for Joe Biden, perfectly suited for somebody that is frail and weak and struggling cognitively. I'm sure they'll probably get a bigger prompter than usual. And, of course, after an adequate performance during both those speeches, people are going to say, see, Sean Hannity, he's totally fine. There's one big problem. Anyone with eyes and ears can see and hear that Joe is not totally fine. Our sources close to the White House are describing how complete panic has set in all things Biden's world. Yesterday's brand new Rasmussen poll revealing half of the country is now worried that Joe Biden is not physically or mentally up to the job has added dramatically to the behind-the-scenes panic in the Biden White House. A brand new op-ed in the Washington Times reads, quote, "It's time to question Biden's mental health. This is why we got that Biden team leaked the fluff piece to Politico about the so-called Biden blitz. Let me be clear. There won't be a blitz. You know the hardware store yesterday? Oh, here's a hammer. Mr. President, will you answer a question? Okay, thanks, guys. We got to go." It's going to be that kind of blitz. Now, President Trump usually talked to the press pretty much every day, every night. Frankly, might have talked too much to the press. Multiple public, unscripted events. By the way, I don't think Donald Trump was ever asleep before 1 a.m. during his entire presidency, and I doubt he ever slept more than 5 hours in his adult life. That was a blitz. This so-called Biden blitz, on the other hand, will probably consist of him giving a few speeches written by his staff, kept relatively short, along with a few heavily orchestrated and controlled public outings. But it won't matter. We can already see that Joe lost, if he ever had one, his fastball, his curveball, knuckleball, even his slow pitch. We actually have real video to compare Joe Biden in 2012, Joe Biden in 2016 versus Joe Biden from just the last 3 weeks. This is only video of Joe from the last 3 weeks, and you compare it to 2012 and 2016. And as always, we let you decide.
He sent me 2 letters saying, by the way, can you send me some stimulus money for companies here in the state of Wisconsin? We sent millions of dollars.
But the idea that over 500, I have a card, I carry a card with me every day with the total number of folks who have been affected.
Now they got a new plan. Trust me, it's not going to cost you any more. Folks, follow your instincts on this one.
And I want to thank the former general. I keep calling him general, but the guy who runs that outfit over there. I want to make sure we thank the secretary.
They put one foot in front of the other. They keep going. That's the unbreakable spirit of the people of America. That's who we are. And Representatives Shirley Jackson Lee, Al Green, Sylvia Garcia, Lizzie Pinelli, Pinell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here.
What am I doing? I'm going to lose track. That would be lose track again. Once again, we will ask the question. The media mob is afraid to ask, but they know what's happening. What is going on with the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden? Is there something medically wrong here? We, the people, have a right to know. I've had enough of people telling me, Hannity, you need to be a little more compassionate to Joe. I actually do have compassion. It's painful to watch. This is supposed to, though, be the leader of the free world. This isn't about one person. This is supposed to be our commander-in-chief. It is the hardest job on earth, which is why the media mob and big tech should not have created what I described as the candidate protection program. And either he's up to the task of this big job or he is not. And it matters big time for the entire world. Now, if you want to talk about compassion, I would argue compassion should have come from all the people around Joe Biden that knew of his struggles and worked overtime to hide and cover up all of this and purposely hide vital information about a presidential candidate from you, the American people. Where was their compassion for Joe? Like, for example, Joe's friends in the media mob had no problem raising cognitive concerns about Ronald Reagan and John McCain. Let's take a look at this report from the Associated Press. Again, you decide.
If he wins the general election, he'll be the oldest person to assume the presidency.
He's getting on the upper end of the comfort zone for Americans who wonder whether he's going to have sort of the vigor and the health as president.
McCain's opponent, Barack Obama, will soon be 47. An Associated Press Yahoo poll suggests that McCain's advanced age is more of an issue for voters than Obama's relative youth.
And there were even many more questions raised about President Ronald Reagan in 1984. Let's go to the Washington Post, shall we? They openly wondered if Reagan had lost his old fire with age. An article in the New York Times titled "The Age Issue" claimed that Reagan's advisors knew that he was struggling and, quote, "This is why they keep him out of press conferences as much as possible. Age may have been a factor in his faltering performance." So, one question. What does the New York Times have to say about Joe Biden being kept away from the press? Watch this.
And if I could just...
Let's go, you guys. Come on, press. We're going to move out. Let's go, press.
Mr. President, can you pass voting rights with the Senate filibuster in its current form, do you think?
I can talk to you about that later.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Mr. President, whatever happened to your promise from
Saudi
7 weeks ago that if Democrats flipped the Senate, the checks were going out the door?
Come on, Peter. Thank you. Let's go, guys.
Mr. President, when will you unveil your Build Back Better plan?
Let's go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
So who made that decision to go to bars and tone? Will the New York Times or Washington Post or the AP, will they actually report on Joe Biden's obvious struggles, or are these outlets just a propaganda wing for the Democratic Party?